So those of I will lower everyone's hands now, and there are a few announcements that I want to make, and then we shall proceed further. Okay, so yeah, and there are a few announcements. So if you remember from the last class as well, I'll just show it up. So first thing is there will be an intermediate assessment for the lessons 11 to 16, whatever the last portions. See, we had two internal or the intermediate assessments so far. So based on like first 5 lessons and then remaining next 5, and the last set of for the last set of lessons, it will be available soon, probably in the coming week it will be available. So you can come to this student corner itself, and you will be able to see like this only, like intermediate assessment 1. In the same way, you will be able to see intermediate assessment 3 also, which will be listed down here. Okay, so once it is available, you can start answering, and you can answer any number of times. Like if you make few mistakes first time, and you can retake the exam, retake that assessment and do it. Okay, so that is the first announcement. And remaining things, yeah, please practice all the shabdas, dhatus, etc. And then grammar part like sandhi, kridanta, all these things. Please keep practicing all this. Now, another important announcement that I wanted to make is since we have mostly completed all the syllabus which is there for Dvitiya, and also had a few revision classes and doubt clarification sessions, I hope all of you are in a position to gear up for an exam. So I had a conversation with Dr. Suresh sir from Sursal Sabha, and I communicated that the course is coming to an end soon, and the syllabus etc. has been completed, and the students are preparing well. So he suggested, in case if that is the case, since it is an online exam as well, so we can also have an early exam, or we can actually have the exam during the month of May. And so probably the second week of May would be a good time, because we still have close to a month for our preparation. So this was the suggestion that was given by Dr. Suresh sir. And I said, sure, sir, I will communicate the same to the students. And it's also a very good thing to have the exam early, because we will be able to focus now. We are in that, we have that momentum now, and we will be able to kind of carry forward it. We'll be able to prepare well and write the exam. And what next? So we can start preparing for the next level, that is the Tritiya, for the Sura Saraswati Sabha. And as you know, like Tritiya has two parts. So there are two books for Tritiya. One is the prose and poetry, the first part, and the second part is the Anuvada Pradipaha. So some of you might already be attending this course. It's being done through vyoma-samskrta-pathasala itself by another teacher, Dr. Kusha Bhagini. So if you search for that, you will be able to see that. So I think it should somewhere, it should list down here. Okay. Yeah, SSS Tritiya 2, Anuvada Pradipa 1. So this is the course which I'm speaking about. So this is the second book, or the second paper for the Tritiya exam, and there will be also one more, that is the Prathama, or that's first book. So since the syllabus is also vast with respect to Tritiya, we would require also more time, and hence if we are able to take up the exam and finish it off during say in the May, then we'll, at least if we plan to start the class in the probably in the next month or so, we will have enough time till January to learn both these papers and practice well. So that is the intention with which the exam date is kind of was reconsidered to be given a bit earlier. But in case some of you are saying like, okay, I would probably need more time to prepare, and May would be not possible, or it is too soon enough, too soon or something. Yes, of course, you can take up the exam during the August, so the regular exam time frame. So there's no compulsion that it is that you should write the exam in May, but it is my suggestion and request that you should probably take up the exam in May, so that this learning journey with will continue with that momentum, and then the further is also clear. Okay, so in that interest, I will want to remind you to that about like where to register for the exam. Most of you would have already registered for the Dvitiya course. If not, if some of you have not registered yet, so you have to visit surasarsadha.org. Then here you can see, click here to register. And once you click there, it will come to this page, which is exam.surasarsadha.org. There you'll have to enter your email and then enter. And probably there is a fees for, you will have to register with some fees, so you can do it. There are a few questions, maybe like are you an international student or Indian citizen, etc. A few questions, and then you can make the payment and you will be able to get access. So that is the prerequisite for taking up the online exam. Now there were a few questions again, like if there is um, uh, yeah, like can we write offline exam also? There are a few questions like that. Offline exam is possible if there is a center, registered center near your area or in your city. So that information again will be available from the Sabha website itself. From here, examinations or 1 second, I had seen that somewhere here. Yeah, list of centers. Okay, study centers. In that list of centers, there are a few centers that are mentioned, and you can approach them to check if they have the written exam, and you can register for a written exam also, that is offline exam. The difference between offline and online is that in online you will have a few portion of some amount of questions are only objective, and offline exam it is completely written. So that is the only difference. So, but the standard of the questions or the evaluation or the certificate, all these things will be the same. So there's no difference with respect to that. Okay, you can refer to this, or you can also contact Sabha through this number, and you can inquire if there is any center in your area or in your locality. But this online exam, the advantage of that is you can be in any part of this world, and still you can take up the exam during that predefined timeline of the exam. So these are some of the information that I wanted to give you all, and it's a very important thing that I want all of you to understand these. Okay. Now let me. So the homework is basically, yeah, please try to answer this question paper completely in an examination setup. That is, keep an timer of 3 hours and no distractions. Lock yourself in a room and then start writing it. So you need to also speed up your writing, because in 3 hours you should be able to complete this entire content. So that is very important. So please do that. So now the other announcement is like I will just share a poll now. So there are basically just 3 questions just to understand if there is anything and how you are able to understand and learn through this course. Just 3 questions. I've just lodged this poll now. You should be able to see on your Zoom screens that the poll is on, and you need to take up, you can answer them. So please answer the poll. I don't see, yeah, okay. At least someone has started answering. Yeah, okay. I think it's now able to, all are able to see the questions now. So I'll give a few seconds, maybe close to a minute, maybe, so that all of you can answer it. It's pretty simple. I'll read out the question and I will state like why I have asked this question. So the first one is my confidence level to take up the examination in May. So I just briefly explained why we are telling the exam is in May, and I just gave you the background also why it is important to probably finish up the exam as well, because we have that momentum. And next one is understanding of the Dvitiya course syllabus, like whatever lessons we have learned so far. Are there any difficulties in understanding? Is there something that needs more attention and more revision of any of the topics like that? And the third question is a follow-up question of that. Specifically, you are looking for any um, particular topic that to be discussed and so on. So I haven't listed Sandhi because we had a revision session on Sandhi, and hence I did not include that in the question. But of course, if in case such requests are there, specifically I want a revision class on one particular topic, you can please do write an email as well. So I'll give maybe one more minute. I think 60% of you have answered. So I request all of you to answer the survey now. Okay, I think 90% of you have answered. I will just leave the poll still active so that if the remaining students can um, take the poll. So now I shall tell another announcement, which is the course and evaluation. So as you all know, vyoma-samskrta-pathasala or Sanskrit from home, through which you are attending these courses, and Sura Saraswati Sabha. These two are two different organizations and two independent organizations. As part of the Sanskrit from home and as part of this course, there will be also one course and evaluation exam. So this is entirely different. I mean, it is this has no connection with Sura Saraswati Sabha exam. So all of you will have to take up this course and evaluation. So there will be a timeline for that as well. So probably I think there will be also a mail that will come across, which will indicate about when this course and examination will be there, course and evaluation, and most likely it will be there in probably yeah, it will be in the similar timelines, maybe in the last week of this month, last week of this April is what I'm thinking. But I need to discuss further and provide you the exact dates, but start preparing well for that as well. So both these exams are independent. So through Vyoma, whatever exam you take, that is the course and evaluation, there is a certificate for that from Vyoma that you have completed so and so, that is the Dvitiya course with so and so grade or percentage or something like that. And the Sabha exam is the official exam through conducted through Sabha for with certificate exam, and they will give the Dvitiya certificate, which has been blessed by our Jagat Gurus, Shringeri Jagat Gurus. So that is, these two are two different or independent organizations, and either of the marks, whether if you score 100 marks in Vyoma course and evaluation and probably score less in Surasa Sabha, it does not have any connection, or the other way around. So this is just to prep you up for the actual exam or the actual certificate exam. So just that I wanted to give you that information as well. So be prepared for the upcoming tests and exams. One is the intermediate assessment, which is for the last 5. That's like the unit test. Then you have the complete syllabus, the post-end evaluation, and next is the Surasar Sabha final examination. So these are the 3 things that are coming up in your way. So be very much prepared for this. Okay, so these are the things which I wanted to share in today's class. So now I will open up for Q&A. Okay, okay. So with that, probably like the learning portion, etc., is mostly complete. I will lower everyone's hands now. Please raise your hands if you have any questions. I will call out your names, and you can ask me the questions. In the meantime, I will just see the Q&A chat box and the chat box if there are any other questions or anything else. Okay, there are some concerns related to the exam portal. It probably says um, uh, that the applications are closed or something. I shall check with the technical team and try to get it sorted soon. If yeah, if there is something, if it is pending and if it is kind of not addressed, so kindly bring to the notice of the Sabha, and you can also write a mail to Surasa Sabha, and please do copy me in that. So I shall try to consolidate such concerns, and I will communicate it to the Sabha officials. Okay. Um, Okay, there are also some other questions like, okay, or probably a question and a comment like Sarvani api padani sambodhana vibhaktau staha santi va iti satyam. So all the words in this shloka that we learned now is in sambodhana prathama vibhakti. Hey Vishnu, hey Garuda Gamana, etc. So it's all in sambodhana prathama vibhakti. That's right. Okay, and there's also one another thing. What was that? Okay. What is the meaning of the Vyoma logo? So under logo, it is written as Vacham Dhenum Upasita. Probably this was asked also in various other classes and various other courses, but it is a very interesting one, and I will try to spend probably a minute on that and explain you about that. Vacham Dhenum Upasita. Vacham is the speech, basically. Vak Devi or Vak is basically the speech. Uh, how is she? If you ask, it's like a Kama Dhenu. Dhenu is basically the cow. We know the meaning of that. So this Vach or this Vak, what is there? The Samskrita Vak in general or in particular is like a Kama Dhenu. And Upasita, Upasanam, Tasyaha Upasanam Kartavyam. So we will have to worship that Vak or Samskrita Mata, who is the bestower of knowledge and bestower of everything, who gives everything. Kamadhenu. She is like Kamadhenu. That is the meaning of that. Vacham Dhenu Upasita. So hope it's clear and understood. So it's like it can give us whatever we want, and we need to worship that. That's it. That is the meaning of that. Okay, and mm, okay. Next, if there are anything in the chat box, let's see. Okay. So when is the exam scheduled in August? Please let us know. It will be usually in the last Sunday of August. So last Sunday of January and last Sunday of August is the defined or fixed exam dates from the Sabha. Okay, so I think these were some of the important questions. Payments exam, when it was due, do we have to pay on spot? Okay. So if you had registered already to the Dvitiya exam portal, you don't have to pay the fees again. So though it maybe if you had seen that the exam was it for January or something, no, nothing like that. So until you take the exam, it will be valid. So you'll have to pay it once only. So you don't have to pay it again and again. Okay, these were some of the questions there. Like, I mean, important and relevant questions only I read. There are other questions also. I wouldn't say that it's not there, but these were some of the things which were relevant to all of us. So I read these. Okay, now let me see. Okay, I'll follow the students and you can ask your questions if you have. Pranaya Mishra, next Sandhya Bhagini, and then Praveen Kulkarni Mahodaya in the same order.
Dhanyavad Mahodaya. I have a question that if I take the exam in August, will I be able to join Tritiya course, or I will miss that course because you are proposing to start in June or something like that?
So okay. So the exact dates of when the Tritiya course would be started, etc., is not still finalized, or it's not completely materialized yet. But the intention behind telling that is, so since there is also this the second book, that is the Anuvada Pradipa, that course is going on. So you will be given some time to go through that course, and then the first book would start. So I don't have a clear date in my mind yet. But to answer it in short, yeah, like, I mean, if in case the course starts, you will be able to join it and learn, and you can give with the exam. So that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. And second question, sir, Mahodaya, that because I have to travel and it is still not fixed. So, and if I take the exam in May, and let's see, if I don't be successful pass, can I take another in August?
Yeah, it should be possible. That should not be, there should be no issues with that.
So yeah, I want to try it in May, and if it is not, then I would like to give in August. If
Yeah, I think that is valid. No
okay.
issues.
Thank you. Okay. And finally, I always willing to ask and always forgot that vyoma means what?
Okay, vyoma in general means sky, akasha, gaganam. That is the meaning of word vyoma.
Thank you. Vyoma ma without a, because in English it called vyoma, but the Sanskrit word is vyoma, not akara, right?
It's not dirgha, it is hraswa only.
Vyoma only, yes, exactly. Yeah.
It is basically, it is vyoma, vyomani, vyomani. It is a napumsakalinga shabda. Okay, it is vyoman shabda, nakaranta napumsakalinga, similar to karma, karmani, karmani, and other words. So it's like that. Vyoma is the word. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uttamam. Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Yes, Sandhya Bhagini, you can.
Mahodaya, प्रथमा परीक्षायां द्वितीयपत्रिकाम् अपलोड् करणसमये बहु क्लेशान् अनुभूतवती। कथं करणीयम् इति एकवारं दर्शयतु चेत् मम कंप्यूटर् ज्ञानम् एतत् सम्यक् नास्ति। तावदर्थम् अहं लिखितवती, अपलोड् न कृतवती, समयम् अभवत्। नन्तरा एक ईमेल् कृत्वा तत् उत्तरं सम्पूर्णं सुरेश महोदयस्य कृते मेल् कृत्वा मम बहु क्लेशम् अनुभूतवती महोदय।
अस्तु अस्तु अस्तु, अहं जानामि, न केवलं भवती, परम् अन्येपि छात्राः एवमेव तत्र क्लेशम् अनुभूतवन्तः गतपर्याये। अहं जानामि तत्। What I will do is, so once there is a mock test or something which will be available on the this portal, online exam portal. I will try to do that in the class. Like I'll try to give tips and how you can do right. I mean, how to upload the answer sheets, etc. I will try to cover that in one of the class.
वयं पुस्तके अहं पुस्तके लिखित्वा तस्य चित्रं स्वीकृतवती तदनन्तरं कथं गन्तव्यं तत् न शक्यते.
Astu, I will try to cover that these aspects, and I will try to give some information how it can be done.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Astu अवश्यं. धन्यवादः. Okay.
अन्यः विषयमस्ति. अहं भवान् अपि महेश्वरी भगिनीन् अपि पृच्छति एकवारं भवत्याः ध्वनि मध्ये अमरकोश सम्पूर्ण अमरकोश श्लोकान् एकवारं रेकार्ड् कृत्वा प्रेषयतु. तस्य सूर्य इति अस्ति खलु तद् वक्तुम् एव बहु क्लेशम् अभवति.
अस्तु चिन्ता नास्ति तद् भवदस्ति तदपि वयं तत्र अपलोड् कुर्मः. We will upload also.
वयमपि अहं प्रार्थितवती महोदय.
अस्तु. No, we will do it. We will record it and upload it on the memorization section. In that corner we will do it. कुर्मः. And also in the further classes. Yeah, sure. धन्यवादाः. In the upcoming classes I will probably cover Amarakosha also. Like how we did today, Prarthana and Subhashitani. I will take up Amarakosha in probably the next class, and we will do that together. Okay. Yeah.
I am Praveen Kulkarni. Actually, I would like to take the Sabha exam in the month of May, but I have already planned some tour program from 11th of May to 19th of May. And I suppose that the dates should not fall during those periods when I have already booked it and going out.
Got it. No, I get that, and so this is still in conversation. Okay, as I said, nothing is kind of finalized. It is just a pulse that I wanted to get the information from you all, like whether it is good that you will be able to take up the exam in May or not. That's why that poll question also was that. Okay, so definitely we will consider the practical difficulties that most of us can face and what could be the challenges, and something beneficial for most of us is what will be planned. Okay, so but yeah, see, because like I mean, since two clocks cannot agree on it, it's very difficult to kind of get all a convenient date for everyone. Of course, that's no one can assure that, but at least in the interest of many, I think a decision would be taken, is what I feel.
Okay, धन्यवाद.
Sure, धन्यवादाः. Okay, next Simran Bhagini, next Prakash Mohini Bhagini, and Harin Mehta Mahodaya.
नमस्ते महोदय, धन्यवादः. अनुवादनं कथं करणीयम् इति कृपया वदतु. किमर्थम् अहं पृच्छामि? सतपुत्राः पितरं सेवन्ते. Word to word अनुवादनं करणीयं वा? Like पितरं is father, and you said it can be parents also. Katham करणीयम्?
Uttamam. Yeah, and important thing for all of us to understand as well. The thing is, basically, a faithful translation would be one which will. The first thing is to get the word-to-word meaning. Okay, for example, in other one where Saha netrabhyam andha asti, so he is blinded by both eyes. Like okay, it is like word-to-word translation, but he is blind is also a translation that means the same. So sometimes it becomes a contextual one, like maybe we can use a different word, or probably we are trying to give the meaning of that. But in general here, Anuvadabhyasa, most likely we should follow the word-to-word one. That's why instead of that parents, we should have put there the father. That's what I told when saying that.
अस्माकं पुस्तके संस्कृत भाषा दीपिका वाक्यम् एवम् अस्ति, सत्पुत्रः पितरौ सेवन्ते.
Pitarau सेवन्ते, correct. So Pitarau is basically parents. Yes, that's right. So here maybe in this it was Pitaram, so then it is father. So probably I think maybe when copying or taking that answers from that, maybe it was copied in that way. But yeah, it is if it is Pitaram, it is father. If it is Pitarau, it is parents. So that's what.
तर्हि उत्तरान् lekhan samaye vayam we can write both, right? Word to
Yes.
word and contextual. That we can do them both. Can we?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay. And one more question. You were talking about fees, sir. That once we have paid, we need not pay again.
Right.
But there are links like online exam fees. We did not click on online part while we made the payment in January.
No, I don't think. I
Does
think
that make a difference?
No. In January, in the sense for Prathama exam, you mean to say?
For Dvitiya itself, or January and December when we made the payment, it was not something online. It was just exam, second level exam. So
Okay.
and now
I'm
it is
not-
showing online exam link. Those links
Okay.
are different.
Okay. So I'm not very sure. But if you have a screenshot of that or something, you can to write it to the Sabha, or maybe I had shared some technical support team's number, right? Probably I'll show it up in the next class, so that you can actually write a mail or contact them and check with them. So that I cannot answer because I will not have any of the
No
details.
problem, sir. I'll check it up with them. Thank you.
Yeah. Dhanyawada. Harin Mehta Modi, you can ask a question.
So the question is, do we have to be extra particular about whether it's a rasva or whether it's a dirgha? Like ahavu yanti. How would I write yanti? Is it rasva or dirgha? Do you when the paper is checked, does that grammatical aspect or is also taken care, or also looked into when giving the
whatever is written exam, right? Whatever you write and submit. So it will be checked for all the spelling mistakes or grammatical mistakes, everything. So there will be a deduction of the marks based on how many mistakes you have made. So usually it's like, it depends again based on the scheme of evaluation, etc. But usually, that's what usually for every 2 spelling mistakes, a half mark is kind of deducted in general. Okay, so it is not a common rule. There could be some exceptions at different levels of exams, etc. So there's a scheme of evaluation which speaks about it.
And because when we were looking at the answers given by Mahesh very beginning on like Kuchaila or Upamanyahu, etc., where we are writing kind of an essay, for 5-6 lines. Then if I would try, mine would have been the simplest form of all. So I'm wondering how deep we need to try to go.
No, okay. So in such questions which is like a 2 marks or a 3 marks question, maybe yes, definitely we will be considering that spelling should be correct. But maybe you will not be penalized like half mark for every 2 mistakes in such questions. So it is like based on a question type also. This will be it's a subjective one. It's not like objective, right? So it depends in that way. But yes, definitely we'll have to be correct with respect to spellings.
Good. Okay. Dhanyawad.
Sure. Dhanyawad. Prakash Mohini Badli, you can ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question now.
In this second question, Tridayanam Vakyadvain Vatrayan Va Uttaram Sanskriten Likhat. This means we have to answer only 3 of those 5.
Trayana, which second main is it?
Second main.
Yeah. So Trayanam, something like that. Yes, only 3 out of 5, and first one also Shannam. So 6 out of 8 questions. You can. There's a choice of. You can leave 2 questions.
Okay. Next one is Dua. Kinchit Vishwa Dvayam. So any 2.
Yes. That's right. You can also see the marks that is allocated. So like 1 into 4 or something like that, then 4 questions. So you can see that also if you, in case you do not understand it correctly, like 6 only or 5 only, etc., something like that, you can see the mark allocation, and based on that also you can take a call.
What is the meaning of Payarshat? In a Eklavya paragraph it's given.
What is the word? Was it there in this paper?
Yes, yeah. In this paragraph, Eklavya,
Okay.
it is there.
Let me take that out. Where is it?
Paryekshat.
This one? Okay, 1 second.
Tat drishtva ashcharya chakita drona Eklavyam paryekshat.
One second. I will read that out. And pariyakshata, this word, right? So so aikshata is to see. He saw him. That is the meaning of that. Pari is upasarga. Pari upasarga sahita. Iksh dhatu, ikshane. So ikshate is the dhatu. That is atmanepadi. Of that, the lang lakara form is aikshata. We covered this aikshata forms in one of the classes. So please do refer to it. And it is with pari upasarga.
Acha, pari upasarga.
Yeah.
Dhanyawad.
Sure. Dhanyawadaha. Okay. Next set of students. Jai Shri Bhagini, Jyoti Lakshmi Bhagini, and Jai Lakshmi Bhagini. You can ask your question in the same order. Yes.
Yeah. Namaste. I have one question that you have not taught us Anunasik Sandhi or Parasavarna Sandhi. So I don't know because some of the questions were.
No, those are not part of Dvitiya.
Yeah. But I think in question paper, Pancha or something, it was Parasvarna Sandhi. So that part.
I doubt if it has come, but it shouldn't be.
Panchavarshiyah evam asit pam plus chavarshiyah evam asit iti chintayami.
Yes.
Prashnottaram va?
Yeah.
Prashnottaram va?
I think so. In the Prashnottaram only, but I forgot now. I don't have the question paper.
Okay. Let me check that, but definitely in the syllabus, whatever is there, only those will be asked. So you shouldn't worry about it. That is one thing I would say. But let me check on it and get back to you if in case it is.
Another question is that another actually suggestion is that I had a lot of arguments with Sabha regarding the type of question paper. They were, for each question we have to upload the answer which we have written.
Correct.
And it was very trouble. Yeah. So I had suggested then that we can write answers to all the questions and upload that PDF file at that site, but they just didn't listen. And then in the end, they increased the time for by another 30 minutes. But that when the time was shown to us, it was just 2 hours, 2 hours or whatever they had told. And then increased, to 2 hours. So that thing was done after the time is over. So we were not knowing whether the time is over or not, or whether they will take away, stop the thing at that 2 hours. And another thing, the practice paper, they just gave it once, and then for some reason the lights went off and then we could not get that paper again. So this is not right. And whatever we write to them, they just don't answer.
No, I get that. But the thing is, to just set the context, I will just telling you this. Basically, Sabha organized this online exam. This was the first time when your batch was which took this online exam, and there are a lot of things that went in to bring up to this stage itself. So that is the first thing. And of course, we have even like as testers, whether it is working fine or not, and the early feedback, all these things were given. And because the dates were announced and they had some technical issues that they were unable to update it at that point in time, that was there like that for the first exam. But these some of these feedback has been considered, and for the next online exam, they have made it as like you can upload it together at the end. So that's what they have made.
Because then at least we can go through our answers and correct.
That is right. So these things will be incorporated in the next exam.
Oh, that gives me such a relief.
Yes, no. I was also one of the. I also took up this mock exam just to see like how it is, how students would be doing. So, and I immediately gave these feedback that uploading to each and every question is definitely not a practical solution. But
it's not.
No, I understand. So during that time, there was no other alternative. But that's why they also entertained. Like in case you are unable to do so, you can also email us the scripts. So that's what.
They did not tell us that at all. They did not tell us that at all. I kept on fighting with them. They said no. So we had to go through that, answer each answer every time. And
I understand that. But don't worry. I think these things will be taken care in the upcoming exams.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Namaste, Mahodaya. मम जिज्ञासा अस्ति किम् इत्युक्ते मे मासे परीक्षा कदा भविष्यति इति दिनाङ्कः जानाति वा?
तदेव अधुनापि तत्र अनौन्स्मेण्ट् रूपेण किमपि न आगतं, केवलं तत्र सम्भाषणमेव जातम् इति एवं रूपेण अस्ति, कदा कर्तुं शक्यते वा इत्यादि ते पृष्टवन्तः। तदेव तदर्थमेव अद्य मया तत्र पोल् अपि दत्तं to provide them this data, like okay, this is how it is, and based on that they will take a call also. So we don't know the date yet, but could be definitely not on May 1st, could be in the second week or the third week is what even I know, or if it gets pushed, it can be also the last week of May. That is a possibility. Okay. So but
द्वितीयसप्ताहे एव मया एक विवाहं गन्तव्यम् अस्ति महोदय, अतः अनन्तरं तस्मिन् दिने एव लेखनीयं वा, नो चेत् इंटरमीडिएट असेसमेंट इव कदापि लेखितुं शक्नुमः वा?
No, since this is the kind of the final exam from the Sabha side, you will not have that luxury of extended timeline. So probably what would be available is probably like a time span of say 6 hours or 8 hours, say your daytime, complete daytime kind of a thing. But whenever you start, you will have only 3 hours to complete it. So somehow like that, it could be there. So I say I don't know about the finer details of it, but definitely when I get the details, I will share it in the class.
Oh, इत्युक्ते अहं मे मासे लेखितुं न शक्ष्यामि चेत् आगस्ट् मासे एव लेखनीयं खलु?
हा, इदानीं तद्विषये चिन्तां न कुर्वन्तु. Don't worry about it. Like, start preparing and be ready for facing the exam at whenever it is. So just let that be in the thoughts. So related to the final exam dates, etc., we will work with the Sabha and we will see when it can be. Okay, I will check with Sabha and I'll get back to you on that.
अस्तु महोदय, धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः.
प्रथमा परीक्षाम् अहं न लिखितवती, अतः मम द्वितीयपरीक्षां लेखितुं शक्नोमि वा?
शक्यते. You can write Dvitiya directly also. There's no harm in that. So it's just that the graded levels of exams, and so usually for Tritiya onwards, the previous exams is required. For Prathama and Dvitiya, it is still fine. It's fine if you have learned and know the concepts, it should be fine.
Dhanyawadaha. Ram Ram.
Dhanyawadaha. Okay, probably it's just time. It's over time as well. Like I'll just there are only 3 more students who had raised their hands. I will just ask them to ask their questions. Rajaram Mohodaya and Gayatri Bhagini, you can ask your questions.
Namaste, Rajaram here. 2-3 questions are there. One is Subhashitani, your Udyoginam Purusha Simham Upeti Lakshmir Daivena. Is that Ara is there or not?
So Lakshmihi, when we split it, that Repha or the Arka will not be there. Otherwise, Lakshmir Daivena, that's how it will be. So it is like
the book, it is Lakshmir Daivena.
Correct. So in our slides we have split it. Lakshmi.
In your slide today you have split it.
No, not today. I mean from first also I think it is split only.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't observe that.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Next question.
Next question is this exam. No, you can your intermediate assessment, if it is in the same pattern, then people will get practice. No.
So frankly speaking, the intermediate assessment on the portal, how it will be done in the like the kind of questions will be same, but the pattern like written portion and objective portion, that probably will not be able to be done through vyoma-samskrta-pathasala. So that is the reason it will be completely objective type. That's how the course and evaluations are, so that it's quickly auto evaluated, and for the certificate, etc., everything is kind of linked, and that's how it will be done. So, but we'll check if something can be done on the similar way of the exam. But I cannot assure you anything as of now.
Sir, another thing is that this online which we are registering is purely for Vyoma, I think, and the other one is manual. We have to pay to the local center and write the manual exam, right?
No. Whatever you're doing online, that is the exam.srsadbha.org, that has no connection to Vyoma. So that is for Sringeri Surasabha only. So whatever payment of the fees, etc., you do, everything is going to the Sabha. So
no Payment is going there only, but I think this online which we are registering is purely for online conducted by Vyoma. That's the understanding I get.
No. It is also open to public. So others also have taken that exam. It's not only, it is not exclusively only for Vyoma students. No, there's nothing like that, but they have listed Vyoma as a center there, because those students who studied here, you can say that it is you have studied through Vyoma. That is the only question that is there when you select the center as Vyoma Bangalore or something. Okay, but other than that, this is open for all, because it's officially it's there on the website. Anyone can actually register and write the exam.
Okay, thank you. Dhanyawada.
Gayatri Bhagini, you can ask it.
Namaste, Mahodaya. Actually, they have asked the questions before. We have paid the fees by last October itself. So online, whether we have to pay. And my second question is, can we have the exam just the third month or third week of May or last week of May? And one more thing I want to say is, Suresh Mahodaya was very much helpful. I too had the problem in submitting. Then afterwards, I contacted the Sabha persons and I got Suresh Mahodaya's number and I sent him the mail and sent the PDF also, and they got it corrected and I got the certificate later.
Got it. Yeah, I think, see, the main motivation behind the Sabha is to promote learning. So that is a very important aspect. And in that regards, actually, Suresh sir is very helpful and he is very kind in providing some support for any reason. Okay. So because his main intention is learning Sanskritam should be spread to all parts of the world and all students should be benefited out of this learning. So that is the intention. Of course, they will whatever the shortcomings or shortfalls were there, those will be addressed, and definitely you can reach out to Sabha and get some help in that regard. Okay, so yeah, for the first question, if you had paid the fees, I think that is sufficient. I mean, it will be automatically showing that you have paid the fees, etc., and you don't have to repay anything there. So, but just note that I'm just keeping it clear. Whatever you had paid for Prathama exam is different, and for Dvitiya it is different. So, if you had paid for Dvitiya exam for the registering on online portal, that is sufficient. You don't have to make another payment for the same. So, hope that answers the question.
Yeah, Dhanyawad.
Sure.
And
Dhanyawad.
the third exam in third or fourth week of May.
As I said, right? As I said, the exam dates is kind of not finalized as of now. Okay. It is just that a thought whether it can be taken in May or not, and hence and other things I have asked. Definitely, I will communicate this data to the Sabha, and they will take a call and finalize the exam date or whatever. Dhanyawada. Okay, I think we'll conclude at this point. I see a few more students who have raised their hands now, but in the interest of time, I will probably want to conclude today's class. Definitely, you can please do write an email. Please mark both me and Maheshwari Bhagini in the email. Okay, so if in case either of us are unable to answer, like one of us would be able to do it. So please do copy both of us in the emails. Okay, so that is one important request. And as I said, definitely in the upcoming classes, I've seen from the polls. So at least you have mostly said like, okay, what you want as a part of the revision in the upcoming classes. We shall take up them and we will do it. So please do write and practice all these things. Okay. Another important homework or an assignment, I will give it in the next week. I'll just give you the hint or the heads up now, like if you can start making it as well. So what should be done? This is purely with respect to the exam preparation. Okay. So all the questions from all the lessons you will have to compile in one place. How to do so? You will have to say all 1 mark questions. Okay, Sanskrit Bhashya Uttaram Likhata. All such questions of all the lessons, you should write it together. Lesson 1, 10 questions are there or 5 questions. Next lesson 2, 4 questions, 5 questions, whatever. From the textbook, from the textbook exercises, you should do that. The next thing that you should do is 2 mark questions in the same way. In whichever exercises 2 mark questions are there, or like say Vakyadvayena or Dvitraihi Vakyehi Samskrita Bhashaya Uttaram Likhata. So that main, all questions related to that main, you should write it together. Next, similarly, Sasandarbham Vivranata. All Sasandarbham Vivranata from all the lessons, you should write in one place together. Next, all the objective questions like fill in the blanks or say Samanarthak Padani Likhata, Viruddharthaka Padani Likhata, etc. So all those things you should compile. So when you compile this will become your revision book. So you can read through all the questions and you will be able to recollect. Okay, so first, so these are the set of questions, 1 mark questions. So probably if you read it 4 or 5 times, automatically you will be able to remember that. So this is a way to prepare for the exam. This is purely from the examination preparation point of view. We'll have to do this way. Okay, so with that, we shall conclude today's class. And Dhanyawadaha Sarvebhya for answering the quick pulse survey. I will communicate this data and I'll further announce related to all the exam things in the upcoming classes. Namo Namaha, Ram Ram Ram.